Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling color theory,
Ooh, color theory
and especially how it all connects to data visualization.
and how it impacts that.
Exactly. We've got two sources for this deep dive.
Okay.
One is an excerpt from a book on color theory itself,
All right.
and the other is this text file all about how to effectively use color in Power BI dashboards.
I see.
So, you're into color, right?
Of course. Who isn't?
Not just what looks nice, but like how it actually works.
You have the science behind it?
Like, did you know there's actual science behind why some color combinations work
Oh, yeah.
and some don't?
Definitely.
We're going to uncover all that and even touch on how color impacts people with color blindness. Ready to dive in?
Let's dive.
Okay, so the book excerpt is like a teaser. It doesn't give us like super specifics,
Okay.
but it hints at this whole world of knowledge,
Right.
which got me thinking, what are the like fundamental color theories?
Yeah, beyond just the basics.
Yeah, beyond that basic color wheel.
Well, you've got, of course, your primary colors,
Right.
your secondary colors, and then the tertiary colors.
Okay.
It's color theory 101, really. But then what gets fascinating is how those basics build out this whole system of color interaction.
Interaction, okay.
Like how a tertiary color, like a blue-green, it can either like blend really smoothly with its parent colors,
I see.
or it can create this kind of subtle visual tension.
Ooh, subtle tension. I
Yeah.
like that.
It adds that extra dimension.
So we're not just talking about mixing paints.
No, no, no.
It's about understanding these relationships between the colors.
Exactly. Think of it like music. Single notes are fine,
Okay.
but it's the chords, the harmony, that make it really beautiful.
Right, right.
And that's where color harmony comes in. Complementary colors.
Yeah.
Those are the ones opposite each other on the color wheel. They create this eye-catching contrast.
So that's why blue and orange always work so well together.
It's a classic combo for a reason.
I never even thought of it that way.
See, color theory in action.
And this matters, whether you're literally painting a room
Right.
or building a chart or a graph.
Exactly. Understanding those relationships makes a huge difference in how people see your work.
Okay, speaking of charts, our Power BI file lays out 3 specific color palettes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm betting these choices go right back to the theory we were just talking about.
Probably, yeah.
Palette number 1 has light gray, dark gray, teal blue, light blue red, and deep blue.
Hold on, let's unpack that.
Okay.
Teal and blue, they're neighbors on the color wheel, right?
Yeah.
So it creates that harmonious flow. Then they throw in that pop of red to give you a contrasting highlight.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's not just random pretty colors.
No, it's strategic.
Very strategic.
Okay, that makes sense. What about palette number 2? This one's got light green, light gray, dark gray, bright blue, dark blue, red, and green.
Similar idea here. You've got green and blue harmony, and again, red for emphasis.
Yeah.
And notice how they're using contrasting light and dark grays too.
Oh, yeah.
That's for clarity. It's all about guiding the viewer's eye.
Like in a painting.
Exactly.
So it's not just about function, it's also about like keeping things visually interesting
Right.
and easy to understand.
Exactly. And that variety helps you highlight different types of data.
Different types, okay.
Yeah. So like warm colors,
Uh-huh.
reds, oranges, those draw attention to key metrics.
Oh, interesting.
Whereas cooler colors like blues and greens might represent background information.
Wait, so there's psychology involved too?
Of course.
Like our brains actually react differently to warm colors versus cool colors.
Think about it. A fire alarm is never blue, is it?
That's true.
It's that instinctive pay attention color. Now imagine applying that to, say, a sales chart.
I see.
You'd use that warm red to highlight the top performing regions maybe.
Right.
Or products, instantly drawing the viewer's eye to the most important information.
Wow. I never realized how much strategy goes into something as simple as choosing colors for a chart.
It's a whole science.
It's like you're speaking a whole different language.
In a way, I am the language of color.
Okay, what about palette number 3? What stands out to you there?
Well, this one's interesting. It's got black, red, dark gray, gold, light gray, dark blue, and teal.
Okay.
It's a bit more dramatic, I'd say.
Dramatic.
Yeah, the black and gold add a touch of luxury.
Luxury, okay.
They might use this palette for like a high-level financial dashboard.
Yep.
Something where you want to convey a sense of importance and sophistication.
Oh, I see, I see. So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
No way.
You have to choose the palette that matches the data
Right.
and the message you're trying to get across.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And beyond the palette itself, color consistency is key.
Consistency. Okay.
Think of it like branding.
Uh-huh.
A company's logo, their color scheme,
Yeah.
it creates a recognizable identity. Sticking to a defined palette for your data visualizations, it gives your work that professional, cohesive look.
So it's like you're building a visual identity for the data itself.
I like that. It's not just floating around out there.
Right, right.
It has a style, a personality,
Data personality.
and it helps people understand the information more easily because they learn to associate specific colors
Yeah.
with specific types of data. If we connect this back to color theory,
Yeah.
you can think of it like creating a harmonious composition in a painting.
Oh, okay.
Everything works together to create that unified whole.
This is making me rethink every chart I've ever made.
Good. It's all about continuous improvement.
Okay, so we've talked about harmony, contrast, consistency.
The pillars of good design.
Is there anything else we should keep in mind when choosing colors?
Well, one crucial consideration is accessibility,
Accessibility.
particularly for people with color blindness.
Right, right.
We want to make sure our data is accessible to everyone, regardless of their visual abilities.
The Power BI file mentions that red-green combinations can be tricky for folks with color blindness.
Yeah, that's a classic one.
What other things should we be thinking about when we're designing for accessibility?
Well, high contrast is essential. Make sure there's enough difference between the background color and the text, or the data points, so people can easily distinguish them.
Right. Makes sense.
And it's not just about color, either.
Oh, okay.
You can use patterns and textures to differentiate data points as well.
Oh, like instead of using different colors for bars on a chart, you could use stripes or dots.
Exactly. You're adding another layer of visual information so
Yeah.
people can really understand the data.
Oh, that's a good point. Like imagine trying to read a financial report
Uh-huh.
where all the numbers look the same.
Right, be a night, right?
Frustrating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Inclusive design, it benefits everyone.
Everyone.
It's about making information clear and engaging for all, regardless of their visual abilities.
So it's not just about aesthetics. It's about making sure the data is understandable
Right.
and usable for everyone.
Absolutely. Form and function.
Okay, let's move on to some specific visual examples. The Power BI file mentions bar charts, line charts, scatter plots, and heat maps.
The usual suspects.
Yeah, these are pretty common ways to visualize data, right?
They are. And in each case, your color choices can make or break the effectiveness of the visual. We were talking about color psychology earlier.
Yeah.
Well, that applies even more when you're dealing with specific chart types.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's take heat maps. They're great for showing patterns and trends in large data sets.
Uh-huh.
But if you choose a poorly designed color gradient,
Okay.
you could actually obscure important data patterns.
Oh, so like if the colors are too similar,
Yeah,
it might be hard to see subtle changes in the data.
exactly. Or if the gradient doesn't flow logically
Okay.
from one end of the spectrum to the other,
Yeah.
it can be really hard to interpret the data accurately.
Right.
Think of it like a map. If the colors don't make sense,
Yeah.
you're going to get lost.
That's a great analogy. It's like, thinking about that, it makes me realize how many times I've probably seen a confusing chart or graph
Uh-huh.
and just assumed it was because the data itself was complicated.
Right.
But now I'm realizing maybe it was just a bad color choice.
Could be. It happens more often than you think.
Yeah. It just goes to show how much impact something as seemingly simple as color can have on how we understand information.
It's a powerful tool
Yeah.
when used correctly.
It's like you're telling a story with the data,
Ooh, I like
and the
that.
colors are your words.
Exactly.
And if you choose the wrong words, the story falls apart.
The story falls apart. Perfect analogy.
So it's not just about picking colors that looked pretty together.
Right.
It's about using them strategically
Strategically, yeah.
to communicate the message of the data.
Message. Uh-huh.
And color theory gives us the tools to do that effectively.
It does. It's like having a secret weapon in your data visualization arsenal.
This has been so eye-opening. We've covered so much ground already,
We have.
but I feel like we're just getting started. We'll be back in just a moment to dive even deeper into some more specific examples.
Can't wait.
And really unpack how color can be used to tell a compelling data story. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. We're back.
diving even deeper into color and data visualization.
And, as we were saying before, it's not just about making things look pretty. There's so much more to it.
Yeah. We were talking about clarity, making sure that data is easy to understand for everyone, keeping it engaging.
Accessibility, too. Making sure those visuals work for everyone.
Right, right. And we were just getting into heat maps and how that color gradient can make a big difference.
Huge difference, yeah.
Let's stick with that example for a minute.
Okay, sure.
Imagine you're looking at a heat map that shows website traffic
Okay,
across different pages.
got it. Like hotter colors mean more traffic.
Yeah, more traffic.
And the cooler colors, less traffic.
Exactly. So if you use a gradient that like transitions really smoothly
Okay.
from, say, a deep red for the highest traffic
Uh-huh.
down to a pale blue for the lowest,
Yeah, yeah.
you can immediately see the pattern
Instantly. You'd be able to spot those high traffic pages
right away.
right away.
But if you use a gradient that like jumps around or has too many colors,
Too many colors, yeah.
it gets harder to interpret.
Way harder. Like trying to read a map where the colors don't make any sense.
It is. That's a good analogy. And it just highlights why it's so important to really think about the colors you're using.
Think them through, yeah.
It's like you're telling a story
Okay.
with the data, and the colors are like your words.
Ooh, I like that.
And if you choose the wrong words,
The story falls apart.
right.
That's a great way to think about it.
So it's not just about picking colors that look pretty together. It's more about using them strategically to communicate the message.
Strategically, yeah. To get that message across, that's where understanding color theory comes in.
It's like having those tools that help you create visuals that are not only informative, but also appealing to look at.
Yeah, form and function. We got to have both.
And, we're not just talking about static charts and graphs here.
Oh, no. We're talking about data visualization in the broadest sense.
Yeah. We're talking about dashboards that are interactive,
Right.
animated graphics.
Even virtual reality. The possibilities are endless.
Endless. And in all of those cases, color plays such a crucial role in shaping how people experience those things. It makes me think about the whole debate around like data storytelling.
Oh, absolutely. Data storytelling.
Yeah.
That's all about using data to communicate insights,
Yeah.
but doing it in a way that's really compelling, really engaging.
Compelling, yeah.
And color. Color is a key tool in the data storyteller's toolkit.
Like it can help set the tone.
The tone, yeah.
Highlight those key takeaways.
Draw the audience right in.
Draw them in. We've talked a lot about like the technical aspects of color.
Yeah, the theory, the palettes, making sure it's accessible.
But there's this whole other artistic side to it that I think is important to acknowledge.
Oh, definitely. There's a certain creativity that comes into play
Yeah.
when you're choosing the right colors to bring data to life.
It's like you're painting a picture.
Painting a picture with data, yeah.
Yeah.
And just like with any art form, it takes practice,
Practice.
experimentation
Experimentation.
to develop your own style
Mm.
and find what really works for you.
And you know what? Don't be afraid to break the rules sometimes.
Exactly. Sometimes those visuals that really grab you,
Yeah.
they're the ones that challenge those conventions.
Just the boundaries.
Push the boundaries a little bit. As long as you're still keeping accessibility and clarity in mind, those are key.
Those are non-negotiable.
Non-negotiables, absolutely.
So I guess to wrap things up here, what are some key takeaways for our listeners? For folks who are maybe thinking, okay, I get it, color's important, but where do I even start?
That's a great question. First and foremost, I'd say educate yourself. Learn the basics of color theory.
There are tons of resources out there. You can find them online, in libraries.
Tons.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to play around, experiment with different palettes, see what works, what feels good to you, and get feedback. See what other people think.
And always keep your audience in mind.
Always, yeah. Think about who you're trying to reach with your data visualizations. What colors are going to resonate with them.
And accessibility. We've got to keep coming back to that.
Accessibility is key. Make sure those visuals are inclusive. Anyone can understand them.
This has been such a fascinating conversation. I feel like I've learned so much about color and how we can really use it to enhance data visualization.
We've just scratched the surface here. There's so much more to explore.
I know, right? It's amazing to think about all the ways color impacts our world. Like you said, from the clothes we wear,
To the art we create.
to the data we analyze.
It's a fascinating subject. We encourage everyone to keep exploring it.
And we are back, wrapping up our deep dive into the world of color.
Yeah, we've gone from Color Theory 101 to like full-on Power BI dashboard design. It's been quite a journey.
It really has. We even got into the whole data storytelling thing, how color can make or break the message you're trying to get
It's
across.
all connected.
Yeah.
Like your color choices.
Yeah.
Those are your storytelling tools. Use them wisely.
So true. But before we finish up completely, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay, a final thought to ponder.
Yeah, like we've been laser focused on data visualization, which obviously is super relevant to what you do.
Right, right. Got to make those dashboards sing.
But color, it impacts everything, you know? Like it's not just charts and graphs.
Oh, absolutely. It's everywhere. Like think about marketing,
Marketing, yeah.
branding, packaging, advertising.
Mm.
It all relies on color to evoke feelings, to create those associations in people's minds.
Yeah, like you'd never see a luxury car brand using bright yellow and purple, right?
No way.
Doesn't exactly scream sophistication. You'd probably see like deep blues, silvers, blacks.
Those colors say like elegance, power.
Exactly. And then there's like the whole psychology of color, right? How it can actually impact our moods, our behaviors, even how we make decisions. Like, have you ever noticed how fast food places often use those bright reds and yellows?
Oh, yeah. Those colors like stimulate your appetite, make you feel a sense of urgency. It's almost subliminal, isn't it?
It's like they're saying, eat more, eat faster. I never even thought about it like that.
It's kind of crazy how color can influence us without us even realizing it.
It really is. And it goes even beyond marketing and psychology. What about art?
Art.
Color is like the foundation of how artists express themselves.
And fashion, too.
Right.
The colors you wear say a lot about you, how you want people to see you. It all goes back to color theory in a way, doesn't it? We might not always be consciously thinking about it, but we're constantly making choices about color. And those choices, they have an impact.
Okay, so here's a little challenge for our listener.
Okay, I like challenges. Hit me.
Pay attention to the colors around you. Like really notice them.
Become aware.
Yeah, become aware of like how they make you feel, how they influence what you think about things.
Interesting.
Think about the color choices you make in your own life.
In your work.
In your work, your home, the clothes you wear.
It's like a fun experiment. You can do it all day long.
Right. Start noticing the colors in logos, in ads, in nature. See how different colors get used to communicate different things.
Open your eyes to the world of color.
It really is a whole world waiting to be explored, and it all starts with just paying attention.
Awareness is key.
So we hope this deep dive has given you a new appreciation for just how powerful color can be.
It's not just about what looks pretty. It's about understanding and using this amazing tool to its full potential.
Keep learning, keep experimenting, keep those color wheels spinning.
And keep diving deep.
Thanks for joining us.